Hello again. So it's hard to keep up with all the new model railway announcements at the moment. Every company is showing what's coming up this year and getting themselves all geared up for 2025. I've covered a few companies' ranges for this year already, but there's more videos to come soon. However, in this video I'll update you on some smaller announcements that have been also made from these manufacturers, and there's some stuff across a number of different ranges. As usual, before I get into it, I'll just mention I'm not paid by anyone to make this video, and I don't have any affiliate links that I'm trying to get you to buy through that might affect my views on the models I'm about to show you. So remember to shop around for the best prices. Right, let's get into it and get you updated with the latest news. Peco first with a quick update of a couple of new models now available for N Scale. Following on from the success of this in 00 scale, they have now shrunk down the Victorian house kits. The first here is the house fronts kit, which is designed as low relief buildings, all made of laser cut wood with clear glazing and can be easily made up into a good looking building. The price is good too, with this RRP of just £9.95. And also of course there's the house backs as well, a little more here at £11.95. And if you need something standalone, there's a version which combines both front and back together, and here its RRP is £18.95. I suspect other finishes will come along soon, not just red brick, but they are really good value for money and I think easy to make as well. Moving on, let's stick with N Scale at the moment as we move from Peco to Piko N Scale 2025 announcements. First is this quirky loco, which is coming in two different numbers, but otherwise really similar. It's the Lehigh New England 75-ton diesel locomotive, and it's here as either 601 or 602. It's got some nice details here with the additional parts on the top, but I'm not sure what's going on inside the cab. I think that might be blanking out the motor, but obviously no interior detail. Available as either analog DC for around £175 or DCC with sound fitted for around £275. I don't normally do American stuff here, but this looked pretty cool and quirky, except for the interior obviously. This Railion Logistics Class 6400 diesel locomotive from Era 6 looks pretty cool, except for the decoration on the cab side. I guess this must be what the actual loco looks like, but it does look a bit stuck on. Only in DC here it does have a NEM 651 digital decoder socket, and the price is around £175 as well. This isn't the best livery on this loco I think, but it's new this year. There's also a new livery for the DBAG BR101, this time for the Swiss travel system, even though this is a German loco. Odd. Anyway, also not the best livery, but this is a great model which is really refined. Price here is around £175 for DC, so you get a big old loco here for the same cash as the last one. It's also coming in DCC sound version for around £280. Another big DBAG loco now, and it is again Railion. This is a BR185 from Era 5. A fairly basic version of the standard red DB livery, so it's not an earth-shatteringly new option for you. Another great model otherwise, and of course it's available in other liveries. This one though is also a bit cheaper, around £150 for analog, or DCC sound is around £260. This is also due to be released in a yellow and grey Alpha Trainer livery soon, so I'll update here when a model photo breaks cover. And another loco which looks very similar but with some specification differences. This is the DBAG BR152 electric loco in the plain red and grey livery from Era 6. The price on this is actually pretty good for analog at around £135. DCC with sound jumps up to around £240 though. These old locos always look great going down the track. This is the BR132 electric loco of the DB in Era 4 specification. Great wheel arrangement on this loco, and the electrical gear on the top looks really good. Again, two flavours on offer, with analog at around £200 and another £110 for a digital sound fitted version. Another quirky Era 4 machine is the Dutch NS 1100 electric. Really looks comedy to me, but it does look great, and in this livery looks all the more quirky. This is priced around £210 for the analog and £320 for DCC sound fitted versions. What a great looking thing this is. Again, Dutch. This is the NS Class 1200 loco in specification from Era 3. It's so boxy and cool looking, it's definitely appealing in terms of being so unusual. I feel though there's maybe too much space between body and bogies on this, but still this would be my favourite from Pico's catalogue at the moment. Price here is £220 and it's coming only in analog at the moment. Finally for the locos, it's the French SNCF BB class. This model from Era 4 I think doesn't look too good. I can't put my finger on what is wrong with it, but something really seems to be a bit off. Maybe it's the lack of detail or the plain livery. Anyway, it's again only analog DC at the moment and at a price of around £250. On to rolling stock now, and we have these models on offer in the GFF blue and grey livery. All sold separately, we have a second class control coach which is priced around 210 and does feature directional lights. To go with it, there's two coaches, a first and second class split coach and a full second class. Both of them are priced at around £40 each. The next is a twin pack of first class coaches, one open and one compartment in the cream and red of the DB in Era 4. Pretty standard stuff here. The price is around £100 a pack. And there's a few more coach packs coming out too, with this being the DB 2 coach pack with a Type AV3YG and a Type B3YG. Both these coaches are from Era 3. The close couplings on these look actually really good. It's another £100 for this pack. And another set, this time just two second class Type B3YG coaches, matches with the last set and all with different running numbers, another £100 for this. And the next one is another second class but matched this time to a Type PD3YG baggage car, another £100 again. And back to twin packs, and now it's the SNCF with a first and second class co-rail coach pack in the Era 4 livery. I always feel this is kind of just recycling older models when they do these, but this pack is priced around £110. And the next one predictably is another second class and matched with a baggage car, again for the same price. Then it's the same first and second class coaches again, this time in Era 6 livery, and it's still the same price. And I bet you guessed this one too, the Era 6 baggage and second class coach set to match. And yet another livery on these coaches, this time Era 6 Alsace livery. I think I've pronounced that correctly. Same old coaches though, but a great looking livery. And just to keep you on your toes, there's no baggage car version in this livery. Instead you get two more second class coaches, all for the same price. As we move on to wagons, this side discharge wagon is first. It's one also announced in HO scale this year. Now in N scale too, it's priced at around £45. Or you could also opt for it in the on-rail livery too, pretty much identical to the last one. Also, this is a model that's just here with a new number this year. Or it's also in VTG blue as well, which does break up the dull brown colour a bit. Same price though. But for £1 more you could get this, which I think looks fantastic. Another one I've already talked about in HO scale. Here it is in N scale and also looks really good. The VTG bogie tank wagon with the chrome tank looks great. And just like in HO scale, it's also in JTX satin silver livery too for the same price as the last one. So that was it for N scale so far from Piko this year, but I do know there's more to come. Remember to subscribe and let's move on to the next thing, which is from Gaugemaster collection range in N scale. These are models made in collaboration with Dapple, and we've been given some decorated sample photos of the upcoming Class 73. This gives you some idea of how these models are coming together, plus we have 4 different livery versions also. While the model here looks really good, especially around the grills and vents and the nice details around the cab, I feel there's still some work to be done on the quality of the paint finish. Things are still progressing, and the specification of the models include a 5-pole motor, all-wheel drive and pickup, directional lights, and I believe comes with a 6-pin decoder socket. Available in analog DC, each of the 5 different types is priced the same at $124.95 each. Expected in July this year, they can be pre-ordered from the Gaugemaster website now. Moving on now to Heljan, and we have an update on the O-Scale Class 24. They're all now well into production, and there'll be 6 livery options initially, including 1 weathered edition and 1 special engineers edition as shown. These are all new body tooling, with all variations between the different subtypes accurately modelled, including bespoke bogie and underframe parts, detailed cab interiors, and are also supplied with a comprehensive pack of additional detailing parts. Due in Q2 this year, so not long to wait now. You can order yours for around £650 from the usual retailers. There's also been an update from Heljan for O scale, as they have listened to public feedback and updated the artwork for their upcoming Class 42 warship models. In addition, there has been some corrected physical details too, based on feedback. It's good to hear a manufacturer listening to its customers and responding to it. The production run now has these changes made and is due in Q3 this year. Prices are around £220 each for these, and the models do come with a 21-pin decoder, twin speakers already fitted, plus directional lights. On to Jouef now, a once French brand that made, let's say, budget models, to one now under the Hornby umbrella and all manufacturing out in China. That may or may not be a good thing, but there's no doubting the quality has improved. We have some new models in HO scale announced, however there are a lot of crossover between Hornby's European brands, such as Rivarossi and Electrotren, and I've done a video on Electrotren range this year which also bleeds into Jouef, so those things I've kept out of this update. However, that said, this DE18 diesel loco is being punted out in all different liveries and across different model brands too. Here is the Europorte silver and blue livery, and I've said it before, but I think this is a good model with a lot of nice detail and well applied liveries. As with them all, they come either analog DC or DCC with sound, and RRP prices are $249.99 and $358.99, and that does seem quite high to me, even for such a nice model with a lot of printed details. And yet another colour option is the Millet Rail Orange and Grey, which comes at the same price too. Lots of choice with the DE18, maybe too much. There's an SNCF grey and yellow one coming soon too. When will it end? There were a couple of large logos from the SNCF announced, with this being the CC Diesel number 72033, just a new number, and a CC Electric with number 6511, again just a new livery option. And the BB class gets a look in with a new livery as number 26019 from Hero 6. Another loco over £200 for analog, with it coming in at an RRP of $231.99, and the DCC with sound being $340.99 RRP. Quite a lot for this loco, I think. It does have a 21-pin decoder and directional lights, but I'm trying to figure out why it's so expensive when it doesn't seem to have operating pantograph, cab lighting or anything else. Or does it? The Jouef website is really lacking in technical details about the products it sells. Oh, this is also going to come out in fret livery, which I think is a much better version, and a silver fluo grand livery too. More on those when the models break cover later in the year. When it comes to coaches, there wasn't much actual model photos to look at so far, except for this coach set, which features models which are available on their own, just combined into this curious combination. At an RRP price of $218.49, I'm failing to see what it is about them that justifies the price of this pack. There's no details on lighting, for example, or any other features other than the models themselves. They're not due until autumn this year though, so maybe we'll have an update in due course. So I can't believe they're still churning out this S70 flat wagon as a new model. Been out for ages, and here with some new colour options and container differences. Next it's two little vans with new livery options, the first being the Type G4, $36.49 for this, which is quite incredibly high I think, and the next one being the K4 with operating lights, but at a price of $47.49 seems really steep. You could probably get this wagon for around about £10 in a discount sale and just fit some LED lights yourself if you wanted. It is a nice van though with some nice details, so I'm kind of mixed about this one. The lights are actually battery operated and the battery is not included either. No mention of how to fit the battery or if it's motion operated or manually switched. They really need to update their tech spec on their models. Two tanker wagons next, just computer renderings at the moment, but these look a bit different with the 3 axles. Another new livery option with nothing else new really, and the price at $84.49. But they are going to release this one as a limited edition with the Lego people on it. A VTG tanker in real life, and we only have a photo of that tanker at the moment, but it should be a fun little addition and something a bit different. Price here is $43.99. And we also got 2 new livery options on the Habis sliding wall wagon, which are at $45.49 each. Next we have the SNCF Type SGSS flat wagon, this time with 2 Speddy Rail containers from Era 5. Again another computer render at the moment, but the price is set at $62.99 for this. Then we have 2 very similar state wagons from the SNCF. The top one is an Era 5 Type RES with a load of bogies, and the lower one is an Era 6 rebuilt RES, now designated UAS, and without a load. Both are priced the same at £50.99. And a very similar state wagon, this time from Era 4, it's the Type RS, again from the SNCF, fitted with 2 containers and priced at $54.99. Now this seems a bit expensive at $36.49, although this is simulating a reused G4 with distressed paintwork. Still, it's just a ferry van. Then it's onto the Hopper twin packs with this SNCF set with Sanders logo at $84.49, just computer renderings again. And also here with Era 4 Transera Alas livery, which actually is 2 different types of hopper for the same price. And another set representing the same wagon just with the updated Era 5 liveries. This is quite a bad colour scheme I think, looks really dodgy. It's the SNCF Fret Type RILS tarpaulin wagon from Era 4, another livery version on an existing wagon and priced at $42.99. And finally for Jouef, it's the Mega Car Carrier in blue from Era 6. This is actually being released under other brand names too, but if you want the Jouef one, it's priced at $63.99. I'm going to move on to touch on another Hornby owned brand, Rivarossi. They too gave us their 2025 announcements, and I'll show you some of the highlights here, or at least the ones that they have model photos available. Most are still at computer artwork stage. Anyway, let's begin with the Italian FSE 645 second series electric locomotive, an articulated Era 4 loco which looks great and is really iconic of Italian large electric locos. All new locos come with 21-pin decoder sockets, directional lights and motors with flywheels. It's not a new model, just a new livery here, but it does look great. Price here is $227.49 for analog and $295.49 for DCC with sound. Not expected until the autumn, so a while to wait yet. It's also coming in Era 5 spec as the E646 in a much brighter livery, fitted with snowplows and having some differences such as vents on the side instead of windows. It's priced the same as the E645. No more photos of locomotive models yet, and a lot of coaching stock with just computer images too. I'll update when the models break cover, but for now we can see this, a rather interesting prisoner transportation coach from Era 4. It's got a unique interior setup, obviously, which is modelled here, something a bit different at an RRP of $76.49. When it comes to wagons, we have these tank wagons with a new livery. The Type ZGS here with the Lind Era 4 livery in a twin pack for $77.49. Or you can get them in this rather shouty livery too for the same price. And the sliding wall wagon is here again, gets everywhere this wagon, and coming in at $45.49. Plus a twin pack of SBB simple livery versions with different running numbers, and even an Era 6 version with the Matoni livery, which has bumped the price up by £2.50 over the single one we saw earlier. We also have this very useful Wascosa bogie tank wagon in blue from Era 6, some nice printing on this and a great colour combination. Price here is $39.99. Or it also comes in the grey GATX Era 6 livery as a twin pack for $79.99. This 6-wheel tanker we saw before being released as a Jouef model, and here it is again as a Rivarossi version. And yet more sliding wall wagons, this time FS silver and brown twin pack. I think we've had enough of these now, thank you. No more. In amongst the computer renderings there was this Peroni hopper wagon. It'll be interesting to see how the actual model looks to this design, as it looks quite complicated to apply to a curved surface, so I'll keep an eye open for this and update on this channel when it comes out. Of course we've seen this top wagon a few times already, but here's another 2 variations with graffiti applied. Quite cool designs, but I feel as always that it should be weathered and graffiti. Still nice for modern image modelers and priced at $42.99 each. And finally, it's this car carrier again. Every Hornby brand is doing the same model in different packaging this year it seems, and I'm not sure why. Anyway, if you prefer Rivarossi packaging, you can get it in their range. Okay, Rail's next with another exclusive model, and it's continuing the beer brand trend that everyone seems to be jumping on at the moment. It's another van, this time advertising Abbeydale Brewery. It's the old Dapple vent van once more, this time moonshine pale ale on the side. I don't actually think the printing has come out so well here, but if you're collecting these, then the van comes with 2 beer mats as well, as a set for $19.95. Right, I better wrap this one up, but there is so much new stuff at the moment that I could be here all day telling you about it. There'll be more coming soon, so remember to subscribe to keep yourself up to date. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.